I guess I'd define textual scholarship as the investigation, transcription, editing, and presentation of texts of one sort or another.
There are so many humanities disciplines working with text, but not all of them are textual scholarship. I think what makes the difference is that people who understand themselves as textual scholars interrogate the way they approach the text. It's part of their research object and question. It's taking the distance to the object at the same time as we work on the object text. So this has more to, not necessarily to do with a different question you ask to the text, but more with the epistemology that's behind it, the way you approach your research object.
If you think of an archaeologist who finds a field with plenty of old blocks, some of those blocks they have been reused during the thousands of years buildings have been made with those blocks. And the important thing for this archaeologist, if they want to rebuild, is to know which blocks belonged in the Roman building, which blocks have been taken from the Roman building to become a Romanesque church, then transformed in some Gothic era village, then transformed in some early modern bridge, and so on and so on. So it's the same thing with text. We want to build back the image of the past culture, and the building blocks we are left on with our texts. And we need to have a critical approach of this text to know which layers have been added by who, and when, and for which purpose, and so on. Textual criticism helps you find the right blocks, the right text, and understand how these texts transformed, moved during their history to change forms, to change shape.
Textual scholarship is a big and baggy term that covers a lot of things, everything from paleography and stematology to bibliography and textual editing. Again, my own participation in the field of textual scholarship is in the scholarly editing side of it. Scholarly editors help keep texts alive. They express an interest in a text, and they treat it with care. They make it meaningful for their generation. They pass on the past to the future.
I'd say there is all sorts of understanding, knowledge about how texts from the past came into us, and how those have the transmission of those texts, and variation, how variation is produced along this transmission, and how we can handle this variation, as well as how we transmit it again, how we transmit it to users, to readers, to other scholars, and document all our understanding and what we have done to make it more readable, more accessible, more understandable for the modern readership. So it is scholarship about text, around text, how they're generated and how they came to us, and how we can transmit them.